The United States Grand Prix in Austin recently ended in a whirlwind of controversy. Cheating allegations, corner-cutting chaos, and now one team is pushing to overturn half the grid's results. Was it a desperate move to salvage a season, or could we witness a complete rewrite of the race outcome? Which team is fuming and what's at stake? Let's dive into the video to know. The United States Grand Prix at the Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas, took an unexpected turn when post-race scrutineering revealed that the Mercedes cars of Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc violated technical regulations. Sensors in all the cars on the grid detected excessive contact with the floor, prompting the FIA to test a random selection of cars, including Max Verstappen, Lando Norris, and Leclerc. Both Ferrari and Mercedes were found to have worn out their planks more than permitted, leading to their disqualification. Despite the initial disqualifications, the controversy didn't end there. Less than 2 weeks after the race, Mercedes appealed the decision, sparking curiosity about the grounds for their appeal. The focal point of this appeal revolved around the contentious issue of track limits, a topic that had been a hot discussion throughout the season. Drivers had been pushing the boundaries of where the track starts and ends, prompting FIA President Mohammed Ben Kham to emphasize the need for solutions. The appeal brought into question the enforcement of track limits and hinted at potential inconsistencies in race control decisions. The controversy deepened as Sergio Perez, among other drivers, raised concerns about track limits during the US Grand Prix. Perez accused Mercedes' George Russell of exceeding track limits, but footage revealed Perez himself had been fortunate to receive only one track limit strike. Turn 6, a corner meant to be closely monitored for track limits, became a focal point. A misaligned CCTV camera at that section allowed many drivers, including Perez, to cut the corner without penalties. The steward's decisions documented 35 track limit infringements, but the misplaced footage hindered effective enforcement. Only Alexander Albon faced penalties for exceeding limits multiple times during the race. The FIA acknowledged the insufficient evidence for consistent infringement detection and pledged to improve monitoring infrastructure for future races. In the aftermath, teams like Haas felt the impact personally, finishing just outside the points after the disqualifications. The realization that breaching track limits went unpunished influenced drivers to push their luck further during the race. Reports from the Alpine garage revealed that during the race, they noticed irregularities at turns 6. Observations from Pierre Gasly's cockpit camera showed Perez cutting the corner short 21 times, emphasizing the widespread issue. In the race that followed the controversial US Grand Prix, race director Neil Whitty faced questioning about why drivers weren't penalized for cutting turn 6 in Austin. The explanation that cameras were in the wrong position didn't satisfy many team managers. However, it was the H Racing team that took a bold step to challenge the race outcome. They collected onboard camera videos from all drivers and meticulously studied them, presenting a comprehensive 28-page dossier. In this detailed document, H's legal team argued that Alexander Albon should have incurred an additional 15 5-second penalties for track limit infringements based on photo evidence. Moreover, they claimed Sergio Perez and Lance Stroll were also guilty of multiple offenses, suggesting a substantial impact on the race's results. In their extensive dossier, H's lawyers outlined the evidence, contending that track limit violations were more widespread than initially penalized. The document asserted that Albon, Perez, and Stroll should have faced a barrage of penalties, significantly altering the race's outcome. And H did not stop at presenting the evidence. They demanded their right to a review in a letter to the FIA on November 3rd. The FIA allows teams a 14-day window after the race to request a review if new evidence emerges. H believes that the freely accessible onboard camera footage constitutes new evidence, challenging the FIA's claim that they lacked access to it during the race. While the FIA lawyers will assess the case for admissibility, no strict time limit governs their response. If the FIA deems the evidence admissible, there could be significant repercussions. Historical precedent suggests that new footage, as presented by H, can influence post-race penalties. In the 2020 Austrian Grand Prix, Lewis Hamilton received a penalty after 360-degree camera footage contradicted his reaction to a yellow flag. Should penalties be applied based on H's evidence, Nico Hülkenberg and H could gain substantial positions in the standings. This could reshuffle the finishing order, benefiting drivers like George Russell, Pierre Gasly, Yuki Tsunoda, and Valtteri Bottas. The revised points table might see H move from 11th to 7th in the Constructors' Championship, with implications for valuable financial rewards. However, overturning a race result is no easy feat. The bar for evidence is high, and onboard footage alone might not suffice. Lando Norris, in a media session before the Mexican Grand Prix, acknowledged exploiting lax track limit enforcement at Turn 6. Norris admitted, "I did it as well. I knew it was a corner where they couldn't penalize me." Whether H uses Norris's statement in their appeal remains to be seen. Still, the appeal has already had some impact, leading Red Bull, Aston Martin, and Williams to be summoned to stewards' meetings regarding the case on November 8th. This summons suggests that the FIA acknowledges enough evidence to warrant a thorough investigation, leaving the motorsport community in suspense about the potential rewriting of race results. So, should the FIA allow the overturning of a race result? And will H secure the points they earnestly seek? Comment below and subscribe for more.